Hey, my animal warriors. This is Baron Hoig, Executive Director of OneChiropractic and the Chiropractic Defense Council. Wanted to do an update here real quick. My emails have been blowing up, my phone's been blowing up. There's a lot of conversation happening right now out in the space. I want to make sure that we deliver information in a way that people have the proper information and then can make their determination and opinions from that. But I think there's just a lot of misinformation going on right now. So I want to kind of fill that in and then just give you a brief update on what else is going on around the country. So I'm just going to hit the major topic right now, and that's the Diplomate program from the International Chiropractic Association, the ICA. I know that Dr. Bill and Dr. Amy from ACES did a informational call last night. I've gotten just a tremendous amount of feedback on that. I don't know where there was a loss in translation. I didn't attend it myself. I haven't seen it, so I don't know for sure. But I do know that people are walking away from the emails and the conversations with the wrong information. So I wanted to clarify. I've had a conversation with Dr. Bill, and I've talked with a number of other individuals today just to get a better idea of what people are assuming and what they're walking away with. So I want to clarify, I have been a part of this from the beginning, the conversations, the building of the Diplomate, why it's being done, the structure, all of that stuff. So I want to clarify. First and foremost, I want to talk about why I do believe the Diplomate is a very important process of the evolution that we're creating in animal chiropractic here in the United States. To be very clear, we are not encouraging states to require Diplomate status for chiropractors to be able to treat animals. That our core language, our sample language that we're pushing throughout the country only requires an AVCA or IVCA certification. So that is not changing, and never would we recommend that change to a Diplomate. But a Diplomate is very important when you have a specialty. In the chiropractic profession, we have Diplomates in pediatric. We have Diplomates in philosophy. We have Diplomates in radiology and physical or rehab. We have Diplomates in neurology. And these are just avenues for people to be able to gain a deeper understanding, to be recognized for the additional work that they're doing, but probably most importantly, because it forces published papers. Published papers are very important to show the effectiveness of that specific specialty. We need more published papers about animal chiropractic. So anyone wanting a Diplomate, the only real advantage of getting a Diplomate is you can call yourself a board certified animal chiropractor. Right now, an AVCA or IVCA certification, there's really no credentialing that you can use after your name, where you can with a Diplomate in animal chiropractic. So there is a little bit of a kudos or a differentiator of you in the marketplace with anyone else that may hold the same criteria, but that's it. You just have a thirst for knowledge. You want to know all there is to know, and it would give you the ability to call yourself board certified in that specialty. Other than that, there's no real reason for this. I'm promoting it because it's a natural evolution of a specialty, and I want the published papers. The published papers help us do the work that needs to be done in the states to standardize this language, to show the chiropractic profession does make an emphasis on education and qualification, and that we don't just see it as a rite of passage to treat animals. So that's why I've encouraged this. I've been talking about a Diplomate program for 2 years. I did not believe it was going to get created this fast. I'm impressed. I'm thankful, but I did not think it would happen this fast. Now, here's where the rub is, and I have my own opinions, and people have their own opinions of me. But the issue seems to be of Dr. Bill and Dr. Amy from ACES. People are believing that this is a money grab from them, that this is something that they've created, that they're in control of, that the only pathway to get the Diplomate is through ACES. All of that is absolutely incorrect. Not correct. Bill was very instrumental in getting this done. He is the one that pitched the idea to the International Chiropractic Association. He is the one that went on the meetings and explained to that organization why it was important that they consider creating this Diplomate program. He can't even get it himself. He's a veterinarian. He's not the chair of the Diplomate committee. He serves on it. He is just a voice amongst a number of voices. but it is not his control. He doesn't have any monetary gain in this. The only monetary gain he would have is courses that their organization would put through that would qualify for the additional hours of the diplomate. So it's important to understand that although it was a passion project for him, and I'm not sticking up for him. I do appreciate Bill and the work that he's done. We work well together, but I understand everyone's got their opinions. I understand he has an organization that does benefit in this space, but this particular act is not a money grab from him. He is not in control of it. All he did was petition it and try to get it moving. And he has a voice amongst a lot of other voices in its continued growth and development and rollout in the profession. But it is controlled and owned by the International Chiropractic Association. They have an entire board for this diplomate program that's made up of a number of chiropractors from around the country that have different varying roles in this specialty. It is controlled by the ICA. All the money goes through the ICA. And anybody that has a continuing education organization can be a part of the diplomate process. All you have to do is make sure your courses are approved by the American Veterinary Chiropractic Association. The AVCA does not have anything to do with this diplomate other than the diplomate board has chosen to use the AVCA as the approval factor for the courses. They've listed in their operating documents very clearly the additional hours, what the categories of the additional hours, what papers need to be created, and how long this process typically takes. That's all available on their website. It is very clear and transparent. ACES is one of the schools that can create curriculum that would apply towards those hours, but Options for Animals can do the same thing. You can have Petra and her organization can do it. Dr. Petra, the Academy for the Advancement of Animal Chiropractic can create programs. This is available to anyone as long as the program is AVCA certified and fits the criteria of the diplomate program. So it's not a money grab by one individual. It's not a monopoly. The other question and concern that I've heard a lot of people have is that they're using the AVCA, that you have to be certified through the AVCA and not the IVCA. This has been a touchy subject as we're lobbying a number of states right now to try to get language changed. It's a difficult conversation for us as well. And let me be very clear in this, because I don't want people hijacking what I'm saying to say that I'm somehow insinuating that IVCA certified practitioners are not competent. I do not believe that at all. I think IVCA practitioners are very competent. The schooling that you're getting from Options is a great education, and the testing process that you're going through is a good process. However, it is very hard to defend when it's being attacked by opposition. The AVCA did go the extra step of creating the ACCC, which is a separate organization purely for the purpose of testing out and certifying the competency of those sitting for that certification. That does pass the scrutiny of opposition. This is why, for example, in recent history, the state of Tennessee, when they passed their language, they used AVCA, not IVCA. And it was because it was difficult to stand behind the process of the IVCA, because the exit exam for Options is that IVCA certification testing. There's no separation between school and certifying agency. So, and again, I'm not at all, most of you that are IVCA certified, you didn't know any of this. You went to a school, you chose the easiest path, the best path for you, the most convenient, I shouldn't say easiest, the most convenient path for you to get certified. And then as we're moving through the states, we are going to continue to recognize that IVCA certification so that chiropractors still maintain direct access no matter what organization they're through. But for the purpose of this diplomate, the AVCA is being used because of their certification process. It makes more sense. It's more defendable, so that those that get the diplomate, it's a defendable process, that there was an appropriate diplomate process, the hours were done, the certifications, all of those things. So it's not a biased or friends, we're keeping our friends closer. This entire process was done very intentionally because of that situation. Now, I love the IVCA. I love the board. Dr. Jennifer Hendrickson, who is, the representative in the United States, is I consider a great friend. She's an absolute warrior for chiropractic. So this is not a AVCA versus IVCA situation, it is because of the defendability. And I knew this was going to be an issue when we started lobbying this stuff. I've shared that with the IVCA. They're aware of my concerns in this, but it is what it is. But it's not, there's not some conspiracy, there's not some monopoly that everyone seems to be jumping to. And again, I don't know how things are being communicated outside of what I'm saying, but that's the truth of what's going on with this diplomate process. I am not intimately involved with it. I do have some opinions, and I serve on a committee for the diplomate just to make sure that I'm staying plugged in and I'm aware of what's going on to be able to do videos like this, to be able to create a little bit more of a common thread in what's going on. So I know those are a lot of misconceptions. I'm not saying you're going to like every aspect of that. The diplomate is not for everyone. Just a perfect example of you don't need a diplomate in pediatrics for you to treat pediatrics. Right? The diplomate just helps you go to another level of your education. It's typically for those that really are into the scholastic side of things and want to publish papers and do those types of things. So please know that the diplomate is an important step in the validity of animal chiropractic and the work that we're doing, but it is not going to be the criteria necessary for you to be able to treat animals in your state. We will never use it for that purpose. That is unnecessary and overdone. Just like it isn't required that you have a diplomate in radiology for you to take x-rays. You have that in your core education. So hopefully that clears out. I don't know what was said. I wasn't on that class. If you have additional questions on that topic, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. But I wanted you to have that information directly from us on clarifying those points. Now, I will tell you there's still a lot of activity happening around the country. We're very thankful for the bill in Tennessee. I've talked about that. It's fantastic. The Tennessee Chiropractic Association gets a huge kudos for their effort and work in getting that accomplished. New Hampshire as well. We've got that thing through. I know there are a number of states like Maine and Pennsylvania and Washington State, Florida, Texas, California, Michigan. We're now starting to talk in Georgia. There's conversations potentially for Illinois. So there's a lot of momentum moving. Having states pass this is huge because it sets a precedent of what's going on around the country. So we are now at 9 states that have appropriate language and pathway for chiropractors to be able to have direct access to animals, and we are going to continue to fight to get that to grow. I will be doing a webinar again, probably in June or July, just bringing people together, allowing people to ask questions. We have more states that are reaching out, wanting this work to be done. But here's my guilty grab, I guess, if you will, at the end of this, is we need more people on this database. So I want you to please send people to defendchiropractic.org/animal chiro. We have about 200 people that have come and are on our database. Not all of them are contributing, and as much as I would love that, they're not, and you don't have to contribute to be a part of our database. But we do want this type of information to be relayed. We are very good at delivering good, consistent, understandable information, creating clarity, and removing confusion. That is one of our skill sets and one of our commitments to the marketplace, is communicating things effectively and efficiently. So please, all of your colleagues, send them to that site. We pray that a good percentage of them are willing to support us. We're spending a lot of money going all over the country, working with state associations and boards and vet boards and associations, holding meetings, and we're doing a lot of work. And so obviously all of that takes resources. So we would love, all we ask for is $33 a month. So it's not a huge ask, but we need more people doing it. So we would greatly appreciate you sharing that information, but they do not have to contribute to be a part of the database to get the information. So please send them to defendchiropractic.org/animal chiro. And then they can fill out the form on the bottom. There's a video there of me explaining kind of what's going on, and they can understand what our mission is and what we're trying to achieve throughout the United States. All right, guys. Well, that'll be the end of it. Hopefully this was kind of calmed some nerves and got people back on the straight and narrow with what's going on. But again, if you have any questions or I haven't covered something that you're concerned about, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll do my best to give you the information you need. We appreciate you. Thanks for loving what we love. And together we will make chiropractic the #1 healthcare choice in the world. We love and appreciate you. God bless.